Hey guys, good to see you again. Well, yesterday was Friday, Good Friday. Tomorrow is Sunday, Easter, Resurrection Day. And so what's today? It's Saturday. It hit me this morning that in between Friday and Sunday, there was this Sabbath day. We have all this information that the four writers of the four Gospels tell us about a lot about the crucifixion and a lot about Resurrection Sunday too. What happened at the tomb and in the days following. But I don't see anything about what happened on Saturday. It hit me this morning. What were they doing? What were they thinking about? They just watched Jesus be tortured to death. And so they go home. They're hiding behind closed doors. We found that out on Sunday. So what were they doing on Saturday? You see, Saturday should have been a true Sabbath. It should have been a day of rest where they're just waiting. They should have been waiting on the resurrection. They said, wow, the hard part's over. He made it through. He made it through the death. And here we're waiting. But they weren't. Oh, they were waiting all right, but they wasn't waiting on Jesus to resurrect. In fact, the women that went to the tomb that next morning, they wasn't coming expecting him to rise again. They were coming to anoint his body for burial. No, nobody was looking for him to come. In fact, what they were looking for was the enemy. They were hiding behind doors, so afraid that the very soldiers that had come and the crowds that had hyped up the Jewish leaders that hyped up the crowds to crucify Jesus would probably be coming after them. So they was not resting. They were not at rest. They were troubled. And I was just thinking about all the consemplators. My friends are consemplators. I don't know how they made it through. People like me probably just talked all day or something. I don't know. But we don't know about that day. It's that time. It's that in-between time. You know, guys, I realize right now where we are in our world with this whole coronavirus thing going on, it's kind of like we've been put in a Sabbath. We're not working. We can't work. And so we're really kind of stuck in this thing. But I don't know if you realize it, but the Sabbath was a gift to those people. It was a gift of God to give them to say, you work 6 days on the seventh, you're just not going to do anything. I'm going to make you rest. Isn't that terrible? He has to make us rest. He said labor to enter into the rest of the Lord. Because we don't want to give up our control. But they had to. But they were to not just rest, but they were to remember what God had done. And they were also to recreate. They were supposed to have time with their families. And I realize it's kind of what's happening to us. We're like in this big Sabbath day. That we can't really work, so what are we doing? We're enjoying our children. We're thinking about what really matters in life. Is we're having some deep conversations, some needed conversations. And so, in the middle of this turmoil, if they would have remembered what the Lord had said, they could have enjoyed this Sabbath and been anticipating Sunday because He told them. It's amazing how they missed it. I was noticing my Bible. It had a little heading that said, let me see, I think I have it down here in my notes for tomorrow. It said the heading said, Jesus foretells his death a third time. And this is Matthew 20:17. It says, as Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, he took his 12 disciples aside on the way and said to them, see, we are going up to Jerusalem. This is going in like the Palm Sunday stuff was all fixed to happen. He said, we're going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and scribes, and they will condemn him to death. They will deliver him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified. And he will be raised on the third day. Wow, that's pretty clear. How'd they miss it? They should have been going, well, yeah, it was the scribes and Pharisees or the chief priest, all them. That's who did it. Oh, yep, they condemned him. They took him over to the Roman soldiers, the Gentiles. They flogged him, they mocked him, and they crucified him. So if all that happened, oh my goodness, we need to do what he said. He said, go to Galilee and wait for me. We need to get on the road and be waiting, because tomorrow we're fixed to start a whole new ball game. This is everything he said is going to happen. It's not what they said. Could we be sitting right now in a Sabbath when we should be waiting on good stuff to come, but instead we're fearful, we're afraid, we have anxiety rather than having peace because we forget what he said. Guys, he's kept us this long. His word is true. And if it's ever been true to you, if he's ever done anything to you, it's time to talk up those testimonies, get them up in your head, speak them out of your mouth. Because, honey, the true gift of what this is all about is the kingdom of God is right here in our hands. He's not missing anything. We're the ones that are missing out if we forget what he said. Let's remember, what has he said to you? That's the most important. You know what? It's one thing to get what he said to other people, but it's another thing to understand what he said to you. Remember what he said. And not just through his written word, but also his rhema word. If we remember the words of Jesus, we can wait. Wait and see what's going to happen. We're waiting out this thing. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do believe that none of suffering. No, God doesn't let suffering happen. That he will not turn some way. Even the evil acts of man, he can turn it around for something beautiful. I cannot wait to see what else he's going to do in my life, in your life, in the life of his church. See you tomorrow on Easter. Tune in with us, 10:30. We're going to be going live. God bless you.